Hi everyone. This is your Workstream League catch up for 23rd of September 2016. I apologise for not getting this out on Friday. I just was a bit tight with some of the stuff that I had to deal with on Friday, and as you can see by the background, I'm doing this from home and I will have it out later today. So I want to just first talk about the two go live options that we have, the sort of plan A and plan B that's on the table, and just bring everyone up to speed with where we're at. The plan A is our May go live for CHFT, September go live for BTHFT. Plan B is March for CHFT and July for Bradford. And as we've all discussed in the planning session stuff, in order to achieve Plan B, i.e. the March go live, there are three key elements that we need to achieve. Those being the e-prescribing outstanding work and testing, which Chris and the team are working on, Ordercom's outstanding work and testing, which the Ordercom's team are working on. Now, we did interview and potentially had an assistant for Jonathan Gray, but unfortunately, after accepting the position, the chap called back and decided against it. I am re-interviewing someone on Tuesday, so we're hoping that we'll get someone to give Jonathan Gray the support he needs to sort of try and bring some of that work forward. And then last but not least is our trial load 3, which the plan is that we make it so good that we don't require a trial load 4. Now, in order to achieve some of that, David Williams has kindly given us a list of items that we have to complete prior to starting trial load 3. The key one of them from the workstream lead's perspective is the testing of migrated data, and I sent out an email to everyone last week, and I know that David has had some responses, and that is kind of in action. So if you haven't spoken to David yet and organised that half day of testing, please do, so that we can get that complete this week. I think I just want to really reiterate that the objective here behind hitting Plan B, the go live in March. In order to do that, what will be different from what we've done in the past is we will be taking an evidence-based approach. And what that means is we have to prove with evidence that we are achieving the outstanding realization of the mitigations that we've attempted to put in place around e-prescribing, order comms, and the trial load. So whereas before we've just sort of pushed ahead with that, we will be taking a sort of an assessment each time we get through the various steps. And if at any point we think we are not hitting those objectives, then we will automatically revert to Plan A or the May go live, May and September go live. So I just wanted to be very clear so that that's clear in everyone's head, because I think there has been a little bit of confusion around that this week. Second to that, to sort of help us along with some of that, whichever go live we go with, we've brought in Adam Tree, and I think you've been introduced to Adam this week. If not, I'm sure Adam will introduce himself next week. Adam is an experienced project manager, has done Cerner before, and we'll be working with the non-clinical work streams, and in the first instance working with PAS. And the idea is to tie all of the work streams together into a sort of a single project management sort of overlap, so that we can actually start measuring against what we're actually doing. And Rod has also interviewed for another project manager for clinicals, and we've got some meetings on Monday to just sort of get the go ahead to bring that in. So I'm hoping that will happen this week as well. I will keep everyone informed. I think we've had some reports back that, Rod mentioned in his report last week, and we talked about it in the workstream leads, about the workstream leads having the power to say no to the senior team if they're asked to do something outside of what has been asked from Rod to fit within the programme. That is happening in some instances. In other instances, it's not. And I just want to reiterate that you do have that power to say, no, can you please go back and speak to Rod, or in Rod's absence, come back and speak to me? Because what we need to do is make sure that we are all working on the correct items that provides what we need for the bigger picture of the programme. So I think that's really, really important. And I'll say again, we have had complete agreement with the senior team in the senior team meetings. So we're not asking you to do something that they're not aware of. With that, again, in mind, I just would like to say to people across the board, to the workstream leads speaking to their team, please, please, please be mindful of the amount of work that your teams are doing. I've had reports this week of certain members of staff working the whole weekend because they feel they've been asked to do too much, and that's unpaid. And I've kind of, I've dealt with that, but I think we need to be very, very mindful that we're not, because it doesn't matter how much work you do, there'll always be more to be done. So just let's be sort of mindful of the hours that people are working, and just realize that you can't keep that up for the amount of time we have done up to now and the amount of time we're going to need to in the future. So it's absolutely critical that people have their time off. Work stream lead meetings. From coming Monday, I'd like to take them back to where they were, and that means that we have the work stream leads sharing the chairing of the meetings. We go back to kind of talking about the kind of work stream handover and overlap areas, and I have asked again that the senior team do not attend that meeting. That said, at the end of Monday's meeting, Maddie and Rob would like to come and just give you a bit of a follow-up update on the BAU, and I know that was at your request from the last meeting, so they will come in at the end of the meeting and they will not be there for the complete meeting. We'll talk about that on Monday, about sort of getting it back on track as to where it was, because I feel that because of the replanning and other events, it's kind of got a little bit lost in the last couple of weeks. I would just like to say, a big thank you to everyone, workstream leads and all of the teams, because I can see that the efforts that people are putting in, and the sort of the sort of tumble dryer that everybody's been through over the past couple of months in going from one direction to another direction, it's quite impressive. So I think everybody should be really proud of their achievements, and know that they've got the full support behind them if they need any of that support. So please do come and speak to myself or Rod, or anybody else that you feel comfortable with. We do talk about it, and I just would like to say that. And last but not least, I know it's at the end of the weekend because it's now Sunday afternoon, but I really, really do hope that no one's working this weekend except for me, and that's fine. So, guys, I will see you all on Monday, and I will send this out today. Thanks, everyone. Bye.